Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is me, Jay Jackson, founder and CEO of Serve, Impact, and Prosper, where we help coaches, consultants, and service-based business owners break free of busy work so that you can scale your business and enjoy more profits without you having to do all of the work. And I'm here today, man, with someone that I met a couple of months ago, Jay Feldman. We've done some work together on some different projects with their company. And just over the past few months, I've just been kind of watching, the content that he posts out on social media. It's phenomenal. I didn't know that they were even into the influencer marketing space and doing all of the crazy things that they do. But these guys have phenomenal skills and Instagram growth and followers and getting your Instagram account and everything to grow. They've got a PR firm that helps you get published in different media outlets. They're working on a lot of phenomenal things and even competing. I think Scott told me the other day, you guys are competing with like Gatorade on a new project and stuff. Look, these guys are serial entrepreneurs. They've made a lot of progress in the e-commerce space. But look, you didn't come on here to hear Jay talk, so we're going to get to Jay Feldman. So look, we got the double J's with you today. So we're going to let Jay Feldman introduce himself, tell you who he is, give you a little bit of his backstory, and then we'll continue the conversation about the brands and everything he's working on.
Thank you for that introduction, Jay. And by the way, I love your name. Couldn't have said it better yourself. I am a serial entrepreneur. Actually went to medical school. I just graduated last year. And, my whole blood was, work really hard to be successful. And it wasn't until I was actually in medical school that I discovered entrepreneurship. Started my first company, and one turned into two, turned into three, turned into four. And I just fell in love with the process of learning and figuring out how to take those skills and use them to not only, help make other people's lives better, but help make people's businesses better. And I've just had a blast, man, learning social media marketing, PR, the media. Like you said, I have a company that's trying to compete with Gatorade in the hydration space and working on launching my own fitness brand. So just a ton of fun stuff. I absolutely love talking about this and teaching. I have a podcast where I teach as well. So I'm pumped to be here with you, and hopefully I can offer your audience some value in this episode.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. So, man, look, I know there are a lot of people out there who will say, like, you are insane to walk away from medical school and being a doctor and going into entrepreneurship. But I will tell you, do you feel like you're more passionate about entrepreneurship than you were about being in the medical space? Or, like, what really drove it?
Yes, I finished medical school. I am a physician. I have a DO degree. But yeah, going to the hospital every day just didn't get me pumped. And it was great work. I was making people's lives better, but not at the scale that I can now. And this is what gets me pumped, getting up and building things for myself, building things that can help thousands of people every single day instead of the 10 patients a day that I used to see, which, bless their hearts. And I still, love to treat my friends and family and offer that medical education and advice. But it's just not the passion that I really had. And I hope one day, because I do love medicine, I just hate the institution of it, to, take all that knowledge and that passion and merge it with my business acumen.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. So now you guys have multiple e-commerce brands. Like, what are some of the e-commerce brands that you have?
Sure. So it's all under Elimbix. One of them is the one that is competing with Gatorade and some other companies like Liquid IV. Our company is called Hydro RX. And that is a supplement that we developed for hydration. It incorporates electrolytes, just like most of the sports drinks that most people are familiar with, but minus the sugar and plus the amino acids and plus some vitamins that a lot of these things don't have. And it really does work miracles. We're in our second round of kind of formulation. Our first one had some issues. We also create a multivitamin that's essential for people who are partying. And like I mentioned earlier briefly, I'm working on creating a home gym that I'm actually having custom engineered and currently is in the engineering process over in China with those engineers. So that's going to be a massive investment and super excited about it.
Hey man, look, how do you manage to manage all of this, right? We're all juggling multiple projects. I mean, it takes a unique mindset, right? A lot of just believing in yourself, a lot of confidence. How do you manage to pull all of that off?
So yeah, if you look at it from an outside perspective, it looks terrifying. But if you break it down step by step, it's really not that bad. I mean, we started Rave Doctor, which is the supplement company, a while back, and that takes a lot of initial effort up front to start an online e-commerce brand. But once you build, especially a product that doesn't require a lot of client facing, a lot of the work is up front, and then most of it is on autopilot. So that maybe accounts for 30 minutes to an hour of my day. The social media marketing company I built shortly after that. And when we were doing about $50,000 a month in revenue, I ended up selling a portion of that company to two of my partners who now handle most of the day-to-day, along with our team over in Bangladesh. Now, Scott and I, and now our growing team of 6 publicists, are working 9 to 5 on our media agency. And like I tell my clients who are interested in going into entrepreneurship, 9 to 5 is just half a job. My 6 to 8 is my personal time. My 8 to 9 is my personal content time. From 8 to 9, Scott knows I'm doing content. I'm sitting here. I've got my whole setup. And then 9 to 5, media agency. 5 to 11 p.m. some days is other projects and side hustles and things that and my extracurricular learning. But, really it's not as daunting as some people think. And I love every minute of it.
Yeah, man, to be honest, have you found that like the joy really is in the growth, to taking a product or an idea, from just that initial conception phase and then have it evolve into where you can actually, start gaining traction. Have you found that to be the most exciting or the best part of the entire process?
So yes, and as most of the entrepreneurs listening to this will probably agree, who also follow Gary Vaynerchuk, who's kind of the king guru in terms of the hustle and grind mode of the entrepreneur. The journey is the best part. And this is why I love entrepreneurship. I get to wake up every day and build and see results and see kind of the fruits of my labor of what I've been building, and it's mine. I own it. It's a beautiful thing, and this is why I love entrepreneurship. It's great.
So cool. So you guys talked, you talked about how you, built one brand to, 50K a month, sold it off to your partners and things like that. What are some of the, lessons learned and some of the, the practical application steps that you've taken to, get to a 6-figure business and then, of course, continue to scale out your other brands?
Sure. So in terms of scale, because that's really the question here, how do you take something from a one-man show service, which is what most people start off as, and scale it to a multi $100, $200, $300,000 a year business. And that's through a couple of principles that I guess you learn along the way after a lot of mistakes. And that is outsourcing. You have to get very good at outsourcing and training your team who is going to handle most of this day-to-day labor. Because we had 1,000, 2,000 clients at one point. And I started off just doing this all on my own. And slowly you figure out how to train people to do a job. Then you create materials on how to train more people to do that job. And then, some of the guys that you start off with that you've trained personally now become the trainers, and
right.
They recruit for you, they train for you, and you put the whole marketing machine on autopilot. You put the onboarding and management process on autopilot, and then you get to sit back and focus on what you love, which is growth and diversifying.
Yeah, man. I mean, even some of the things that we're dealing with, as a company, as we were talking about before we started recording, just the entire process and thinking about, how once you bring on a new team member, as long as you have a great onboarding system, they can then, duplicate those efforts, or even you clone yourself so you can get out of the way and allow them to be great at what they do. So, no, I agree with you 100%. That is 100% the process. So talk to me, man. What are you guys, focusing on right now? What are some of the, the reason why I asked this question is to really show people, the limitations sometimes that we put on ourselves can be broken, right? So what are some of the big goals and projects that you guys are working on right now, just to give people an idea of how you think and how you guys operate?
Sure. And I love this question. And most people don't ask other entrepreneurs this question. Usually it's just like, find a business and hustle. But finding the next project and what you're going to actually go and hustle at, that's where a lot of people struggle. So I'm happy to share what my current projects are. I think that'll be really helpful for everybody. I didn't set this thing up behind me for you, unfortunately. I leave this up right now. My current project, one of my current projects that I'm super passionate about, is a PR course, a do-it-yourself PR course, and a PR course for other people who are looking to start a media agency. Huge. I mean, I was looking for this when I started a media agency. I had to scavenge for information and find people to talk to and teach me. So I'm hoping to create that. And I think that'll be really helpful for everyone, especially all the people who are getting duped by PR agencies that maybe can do some of this stuff themselves. Because, there's a lot of people out there who don't even have a publicist they can pick up the phone and call, which is a huge problem. Another project that I'm starting on, which I touched on a little bit earlier, was my fitness brand. I am designing a portable home gym for under $200 that anyone can get and set up. Obviously, everyone is, and for people who are listening in the future, we are in the midst of the pandemic, the quarantine, all the gyms are closed. And I built a makeshift gym to do my thing here. And I'm going to try and take this and build a professional production version and hopefully get one into every home in the world.
Sweet, man. That's amazing. All right. So look, before we get you up out of here, because I know you got another call you got to get to here in a minute. So I want to ask you just how can people find you on the different social media platforms and share, any of the brands that you're leading right now?
Sure. So all of my handles across social media are at Dr. J Feldman, DrJayFeldman. You can also find me at drjfeldman.com. My podcast is mentorscollective.com, which is also on my personal website. But yeah, if you send me a message, you have a question, I try and answer every meaningful DM. If it's just a hi, heart, smiley face, then probably not. But send me questions. I love answering this stuff. I've also got a YouTube channel where I do a lot of educational entrepreneurial stuff, and I hope to continue that. So yeah, thank you for having me on. And maybe I'll interview you for my podcast as well. I'd love to hear what you got going on behind you at the sticky notes.
Absolutely, man. No doubt about it. Let's get it scheduled. I look forward to it. So look, I appreciate your time. Thank you for your insights. Thank you for sharing, some of your experiences of what worked, what doesn't work for you guys, and some of the projects you're working on. And I look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you, Jay, for having me. Love your name, by the way.
Hey, man, you've got a great name too.
Great name.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Another conversation inside of Inner Circle Talk. I was here today with Dr. Jay Feldman. Go check him out on all of the social media platforms that he just mentioned, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.